Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on the blogger thing as an archive post, and on Patreon for extra support. And I usually give some updates here and there on the Twitter X platform. Later today we'll get a Prey episode. We are getting along here. I'm not sure how much it is left in the game. But yeah, we are doing some great stuff there on that series. And yesterday I did manage to get around and find a spot of almost 5 hour spot to get around and do the second live stream that I intended to do to tweak to test the tweaks that I made on the audio thing and the break kind of a thing there. And it went okay. I just around almost 45 minutes I got some artifacting happening on the game, but it was solved afterwards. So and the stream didn't fall. I managed to do around things in the background without breaking up the live stream, which is a good sign. And yeah, it's here now, and I will be uploading the VOD, which is basically the game capture of the live stream, edited out on the breaking things that I did. It's going to be maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It's 4 hours and something. It's a lot. I don't know when it is going to be. Mainly how it's processed in 4K. But yeah, I've been managing to do some live streams 4K 60 frames per second, which is pretty good. Just a quick note: I usually I use the AV1 encoder from my GPU to do that, so that's why I think I can manage to do that, and the fact that the internet connection can't handle all that bandwidth there. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to do more live streams. I will try to do in this weekend, but I will start doing live streams of Elden Ring, something that I've been delaying and postponing for too much time. The Elden Ring case, I will be doing kind of a gaming series, but in live stream format. While Death Stranding, I will continue to play by myself, but I might pop in and out and do a live stream of that game. So it's not going to be a follow-up between each episode. But yeah, basically this is what I got from the channel at this moment in time. And hopefully I'll be ready with Elden Ring DLC when it comes out. Got some news here. Got a pretty interesting mod here, which is a UEFI mod that enables Resizable BAR on older platforms that don't support this kind of a thing here. And on average it similarly brings around 6% performance, which can be something interesting here. Again, this kind of mods, because they tweak around on the BIOS stuff there, at least at the BIOS level. I don't recommend if you don't know what you're doing and what kind of changes are happening. I usually don't recommend if you don't know exactly what's happening behind the scenes. Mainly because of afterwards is the troubleshooting that it needs to happen there. But yeah, there is a GitHub page with the supported hardware there, and they give us an example here, enabling this mod on the very old i3 core 4470 CPU paired with the RX 5080 GPU, resulted in an average of 12% boost after activating that. After activating only 2 gigabytes of bar size. Usually this can be customizable, but yeah, it's interesting to see. And usually by just activating the resizable bar thing, it usually brings some uplifts in terms of performance, because the DRAM gets synchronized basically with the thing on the GPU. So it's always good to see that this can be modded out in older systems that originally didn't support this function. But yeah, hopefully you can get something out of it if it is your case. Continue with AMD at this point. We got some RX 7700 XT. It's got basically a 100% price cut. This is not an official one. This is from AIBs, in this case Power Caller, 2 of them. Usually I recommend the Hellhound. It's like the better overclocked GPU here. even though you don't see any difference in VRAM or it's more about the clocks that are kind of a little bit more overclocked, and usually the cooler solution it's a little bit better because Hellhound usually it's the high end of their SKUs there. But yeah, as I said, we'll start to get some stuff happening here and there. It gets a good performance out of this, mainly because I managed to check around on Tech Power Up in terms of performance scaling, in terms of relative performance to other GPUs. So it gets around almost like a RX 6800 kind of performance. It's a little bit more slower than the 4070, but supposedly the 4070 is going to be replaced with 4070 Super, which at this time is around $600. So $600 for to basically almost half the price there. You get a very similar performance, and you got the same VRAM. It's faster than 4070 Ti, 4060 Ti, sorry. 8 gigabytes. It has more VRAM than that. So I think it's a very good option at this price point, given the conditions on the market. But yeah, as I said, we'll see some prices moving up here and there. We already saw some price drops, like on the I think the 7900 XT dropped a little bit to 700 flat, basically, in a promo in Newegg also. Yeah, we are going to see some movement here, so they can be more competitive with the stuff that it's been trickled down from the pricing of the 4080 Super. For sure, we'll see. We're seeing this because there is a lot of GPUs in this price bracket, and in this kind of performance. That's why we saw this promotion here. But yeah, Newegg, if you manage to get one of those, if it is in your kind of alley there in terms of performance and on your system, it's not a bad option, given the fact that it's $100 less, and at this price point in terms of performance with the MSRPs, I think it's not a bad option. It's not an excellent one, but it's not a bad one. But yeah, basically regarding hardware, this is what I got for today. I caught up this one, very interesting gaming news. There is an indie developer. This guy supposedly is working on The Last Night. I got this game wishlisted because it seemed very interesting, the way he went about it and presenting the game. But it's not about the game that is basically this studio supposedly is working on. It's something else, mainly the engine that they have, because I think they're doing. From what I understand, I think they have like a proprietary engine, so they made the engine out of from scratch. And I suppose this guy, Tim Soret, I'm not sure if it is game director or something on the studio side there. He made some interesting remarks regarding remaking old PS1 kind of games there and upscaling them to 4K 60 frames per second and maintaining the feel of the PS1 era kind of games there, and the results are very astonished. I watched the trailers here, even though this one is like the comparison shot by shot, and it really does show that it improves a lot. It makes the ratio 16:9 great, and it can enhance with some post-processing stuff there, like HDR 5.1 in terms of audio, post-processing rendering, all that stuff. Very interesting, and maintains the feel. This is like a screenshot of the updated one. It feels very much Metal Gear Solid, but yeah, basically this is from the guy here. Basically, he's very unhappy with PSX Remaster, so PlayStation 1. Either lazy Metal Gear Solid or disrespectful Tomb Raider kind of remasters there. Changing the art assets is not preservation, and pure emulation is lazy. PS1 aesthetics can look absolutely gorgeous in 4K HDR with special techniques to retain the charm of the era. Basically, he has the studios exploring options to help preserve older titles, use its tech to allow for games to be played as originally appeared, with the new 4K visuals, which are very, very good and maintains the feeling. It's impressive. I think if they manage to go around this doing the original Gran Turismo, which is one of those games that I got addicted when I played, I don't know. Maybe I will try that one out. And hopefully, if they manage to port out for PC, and I just hope, because it's like Konami, especially with Metal Gear, I'm not sure if they're going allow to this to go forth. But yeah. Basically, how it works, fascination. Basically, the engine doesn't upgrade the initial visuals to make it fit with the engine intact. The engine is downgraded to recreate a classic PlayStation 1 look that includes texture wrapping and dithering effects, and from that, modern feature like improved shaders, post processing, volumetric lighting, and other processes can be easily added. Uh, he said it does a one-to-one color accuracy between the original visuals and the new 4K presentation, and it goes about here tweaking in some stuff here, like the fog here, volumetric wind and fog, the way you can go about it and tweak that. It's very, very interesting. I really recommend you to watch this, at least this free video, so you can have an idea what is trying to present here. And yeah, there is a lot of excellent PlayStation 1 games that I think can benefit from this kind of thing in being reintroduced again to newer gamers that missed out this generation of consoles. I think it will be a great idea, and also as basically trying to preserve at least the games. I'm not sure how this will tweak. I'm not sure if like tweak gameplays, or it's just basically, from what I understand, it's just graphics. From what I understand, in terms of presentation, I don't know how it does in terms of systems and gameplay systems. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll get more information. I will give him a follow up on Twitter to see how this will develop, and if there is something that worth mentioning, I will let you know. Continue with industry stuff. Got the leaks there that Microsoft was doing leaks and rumors that they were going about putting Starfield on PlayStation and a lot of stuff. Again, this, as I said, it's rumor, but if not mistaken, at least my position is I understand in terms of going multi-platform, but yeah, depends on the games. But yeah, it seems that it's going to be again. This is from a tweet, a leaker, Nate the Hate. I think this guy had these rumors, but he didn't kind of report on that. But yeah, from what I understood, they will go multi-platform, but they will only bring selected games. So I assume like games that they think are didn't sold that much in Xbox and they think they can sell on other platforms. That there was some speculation. I assume that Microsoft is going to were about to exit the hardware industry. Doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I assume that not all games will be multi-platform. I assume that they want to continue with some exclusives. But yeah, we'll have to see. Next week, supposedly, Phil Spencer will do an event regarding the state of Xbox. So I think we will have more decent information. Business update event. I think we will have more details regarding that. So again, this is all rumors, and I stated that when I covered this yesterday. So we'll have to wait and see more details there. We got also from Square Enix that they are going to restructure its development system to improve game quality. We'll see about that, and profit margins. Of course, they want to increase profit margins. Yeah, it's internal things there. It's been reported already. So, and it's coming from the representative director and president. I got Takashi Kiryu, who spoke the financial results. Okay, so basically, in terms of basically RPGs and single player games, they had a little bit of a better period than the year before, but on MMOs not so well. Again, I've been hammering this situation that games as a service and MMOs and stuff that uses microtransactions, it's not going to do well because the market is completely oversaturated. People don't have time, and especially they don't have money to spend around in games that supposedly should be able to. It's like a monthly subscription to a game, basically. People don't have money and also time. People only have a limited amount of time to play around games, and they will be very selective on those. And people and companies just went Leroy Jenkins on the games as a service, and they are still doing a lot of them. They think that there is still a market or niche market. Again, it's like everything. It's like a YouTube video to go viral. The game needs to be something special for people to just go and invest on that game, or else it's just going to be a waste of time. Mainly because the main drawback of MMOs and games as a service, you have to maintain the maintenance of the servers themselves of the game. So it's already having not only the development cost but also the maintenance cost of having the game be live and be playable. That's why I don't think. That's why I think a lot of games will start closing doors because it's not even doesn't make any money. They just going to shut down a lot of them. I think a lot of companies during this year, especially, they're going to restructure a lot of their live stuff there. Even though some of them could be good and be shut down, but yeah, it is what it is. I think they need to focus on having a good IP with a single player, full experience, similar to Baldur's Gate 3. I can accept the playable DLC that adds to the game, not DLC that is cut content from the original game just for them to make more money. But it's a little bit like Dark Souls or this kind of a thing there that you have like The Witcher. It's like a fledged experience, but the DLC just adds to the game itself. Or even like Cyberpunk, I think you have a very fulfilling experience in terms of story and how it plays out the game, and the DLC just adds more stuff there that for you to enhance the experience on the game itself. Something that if by any chance happens with, for example, with Baldur's Gate kind of a thing, it only will add up to the game itself. It will not be something that you felt that was cut out for the publishers, not even the developers. Usually it's the publishers who make extra gains there. But yeah, and lastly you got a new Elden Ring DLSS 3.5 mod. Again, this is for Nvidia, of course it's DLSS, but it's not frame generation. Again, I don't see any motivation for having frame generation here because the game is frame locked at 60 frames per second. At least that's my understanding. That's why it doesn't compensate, because you only always get the 60 frame feel in game engine. I think that they from my understanding they went 60 frames lock mainly because of in terms of gameplay feel. You always have a consistent input lag on the system, so you can time your attacks and defenses and parries and all that stuff in a consistent manner. At least that's my experience. What this can do, it does you can lower a little bit the resolution, put it on a stable 60 frames, and then just up-res to 4K. That's my understanding. In this case, I think a DLSS is not a bad idea, because it basically the game is made to be played at 60 frames, at least the experience is like that. Even though they increased but I think it's more about the fact that it's a more action-paced game. Armored Core 6, I think it can do 120, not sure. I think it can do 60, 90 and 120, but I'm not exactly sure. I think I saw something when it came out. But yeah, it's not a bad option here if you have like a less powerful ray tracing. And I think if you can turn on ray tracing, and you can, you at 1440p you can have a stable experience 60 frames. You can then upres to 4K. That's at least that's my perception regarding this mod in specific. But yeah, in terms of news is what I got. Just going to wrap up with some gaming deals. Again, we got Wolfenstein Alternative History Collection between 75 to 85% deal here. Already I got the Wolfenstein The New Order, one of the first games that I did a gameplay series here on the channel a lot of years ago. And yeah, you got the other games. The Wolfenstein Youngblood, it's not the best one in terms of reviews. Got the mix. The rest is like very positive or positive from what I understood. Yeah. So I think it's a good deal. 4 games, basically $20 give or take. So I think it's a good deal here. Got Prey. Again, it's the gameplay series that I'm being active, and I'm quite enjoying it. Even though I get a little bit of frustrations here and there. Mainly, my main issue with the game it's the transversing, especially with the glue gun. But yeah, it's a nitpick to a certain degree. The game is a little bit older at this point in time. I think if it was done today, it would be a little bit more polished in that sense. But yeah, the immersive things there, options in the way you go about it are pretty good, and the story is a little bit intriguing here. We already got some plot twists happened, but yeah, I think it's a good deal, especially at this price point, $6. And if you want, there is a good DLC here, which is the Moon Crash, which is kind of a roguelike kind of a thing there, if not mistaken. But yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Got also Days Gone, excellent PC port from PlayStation Games, and from what I understand, it's a very underrated game. When it came out, didn't get the attention that supposedly it deserved. Open world, kind of zombie apocalypse style kind of a thing there happening with some bikers themed. Again, one of these days I will try this one out. Seems pretty decent here. Got also Marvels of the Galaxy. Again, I managed to catch this one on Epic Game Store by the beginning of the year for free, but at 75% off, I think it's an excellent deal. From what I understood, the story is pretty good, the gameplay is pretty solid, so I think it's an overall great game. And the characters are more based on the comic books, not the movies. And even you can see on the design, the character design is more it's way different from the movie thing. Got also God of War, another PlayStation port, overwhelmingly positive. It's one of those that I want to go about it. And yeah, 50% off. I think it's a good deal here. And lastly, we got Death Stranding Director's Cut. Again, I'm having a blast playing this game. It's very Kojima-like, even on the gameplay loop and the story and the way the things are presented. Very interesting, very unique, as always Kojima likes to do things. Yeah, 50% off, $20. The director's cut has extra content there. Yeah, I'm having a blast here. If you are curious, you can check out my live streams there to have a sense of the gameplay loop there, a little bit more of the grindy stuff. Even though I kind of enjoying doing things, planning the deliveries and how to do things about it, and rebuilding the world itself and reconnecting everything again. And on GOG we got the Bioshock series, 75% off. It's usually the same price that happens on Steam when it's on the deal there. This is the remastered version from the first. The second one is 85% off. And you got Bioshock Infinite. This is the complete edition, so it brings the DLC also. And I think here it's even cheaper than Steam, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly what's the price is with the DLC on Steam, but yeah, it's pretty cheap here. And I think at least you should try the first one to have a sense of what it is, and you see the influence that it got in a lot of later games. For example, Atomic Heart is the first one to come in mind. It's very Bioshocky in its feel and gameplay loop that it from the videos that I saw. So I think at least this one you should try. And then we got the sequels here. We got also Deus Ex, the duology, Human Revolution, Director's Cut, and Mankind Divided. This is the digital deluxe edition. Both of them are 85% off, very cheap. $3 the first one, and $7 give or take the second one with the DLC things here, with the season pass. I think it's an excellent deal. And finally, we got Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, 75% off. Again, another excellent PC port, at least in terms of quality of the port itself. And I think the game is pretty good, at least the first one. That's my perception. And it's one of those that I will try out again when I catch up with all the 6 to 7 years of missing, not playing games. But yeah, this is what I got for you today. It's a little bit long, this episode. A lot of news to talk about. I'm just going to wrap up with a plug on my Patreon, as always, for extra support. The extra support at this moment in time will be more focused on storage for me to be able to get backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And basically that's it, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, Kunamy Master out.